Artistic Director.
Joe, I think you were on mute. Do you want to repeat that?
Hi, I'm Joe Barros, and welcome to tonight's new work series. I'm the Artistic Director.
Hello, and I'm Jen Sandler, and I'm the Associate Artistic Director.
This is the 11th virtual installment of our new work series.
That is really, really insane. That means that we have presented 22 new musicals since middle of March when this quarantine began.
That's right. And tonight we are excited and proud to present excerpts from the new musicals, The River Is Me and Wally Flynn. On Monday, we produced a special event that introduced the first new musical works based on Edna Ferber short stories written by Deborah Barsha and Sheila Ray.
Yes, close friends of this company. Edna Ferber is the Pulitzer Prize-winning American novelist, short story writer, and playwright whose novel Showboat is indirectly responsible for the birth of musical theater because the musical Showboat signifies the transition from operetta to musical theater.
Monday's celebration also included a conversation with Edna Ferber's grandniece, biographer, and estate executor, Julie Gilbert. It was incredible, and this event was intended to be our annual gala, and after we postponed it due to the pandemic, we felt so proud of Ferber's legacy and these new musicals, and we wanted to give you a taste of things to come.
Yeah, I loved it and learned so much about Edna Ferber, her family, and her life.
Yeah, me too. And in case you missed it, a musical tribute to Edna Ferber is available for free here on YouTube, our YouTube channel, and on Broadway On Demand.
Yes, we are proud to have partnered with Broadway On Demand for tonight's broadcast. It will be the third time we have simulcast to Broadway On Demand.
That's right. We'd love to tell stories. We are theater people. Part of telling stories is about making noise. An actor on stage, a writer with an agenda, and a casting director with a vision. Another part of storytelling is listening, the audience member seeing their first play, an intern observing a rehearsal process, and a company who serves its community by listening as much as it produces.
With intention, our company has been conscious about increasing diversity on and off our stage in search of a world rooted in equality. New York Theater Barn is an inclusive home for all artists, audiences, advocates, and allies.
Yes, diversity is not equality.
Black lives matter.
Black trans lives matter.
Black women's lives matter.
Black lives matter. We actively seek out and curate important stories that we don't know from storytellers we want to hear from. We identify that these stories must be told accurately and authentically for the sake of our shared humanity and because it makes interesting theater.
Yes, we are doing this in an even bigger way as we stand with our entire community. Black Lives Matter. Here to tell us more about this initiative at New York Theater Barn is our board member, Susan Thomas.
Hi everyone, my name is Susan Thomas and I'm on the board of directors of the New York Theater Barn. I was asked to join the board about 3 years ago by my close friend and colleague, Rob Wise, and I jumped at the chance. I love musical theater and I especially love the opportunity to help new shows get off the ground. Everyone associated with the New York Theater Barn is very excited about tonight's new musicals, Wally Flynn and The River Is Me. These are powerful stories by 4 musical theater writers that we want to hear a lot more from. Sukari Jones, Troy Anthony, Eli Bolin, and Steven Gallagher. Those of you who've been watching our live-streamed New Work series might think that these shows come together pretty easily, but they don't. And we need your help to continue to support artists. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, which means your donations are tax deductible. This week, half of our donations will go to support the Black Women Playwrights Group, which supports African American musical theater writers who are writing professionally. No donation is too small. Every cent counts, especially in these difficult times. Thank you very much for your support of live theater, and enjoy the show.
Thank you, Susan. We are excited to support the Black Women Playwrights Group.
And we are also proud to support next week's charity, Darkness Rising. Darkness Rising is a vehicle to help individuals in the Black community begin conversations with family, coworkers, and friends about mental health and emotional well-being.
Last week's New Work series featured the new musicals Teeth by Pulitzer Prize winner Michael R. Jackson and Anna K. Jacobs, and Maya by Chiang Ng and Eric Sorrells.
Here's a clip from the presentation of Teeth. Take a look.
But I can feel how it felt when he forced it right in there. So this isn't a nightmare. Toby is dead, and he's dead 'cause of me. cannot be denied.
Yeah, I had seen the film and I was really taken with it, and I thought that there was something in it. There was like a religious element and sexuality that like spoke to my experience. And Anna was someone who I really admired as a composer, and I thought that we might make something of it.
Gosh, I think Michael and I started working on this show in 2013. So
yeah,
we've been at it 7 years now. And when we started working on it, we were in residence at Ars Nova.
I'm just so obsessed when it comes to your purity.
My modesty makes me feel more secure.
Then I get depressed by your promise of purity.
An armor I wear to help me endure.
'Cause I'm totally scared that I might turn you on.
For a lot of years, and I think the thing that I love about new work is in kind of finding the space that I can take up in my own career. I've really felt like this musical has helped me to take up space in really challenging how we talk about sexuality, how we're able to stand in that as women, and the power in that. So I really feel thankful that I've gotten to present this, because I feel like as I've been able to take up more space in different rooms, this musical's allowed me to do that. So it's the power of new work, the magic of new work.
This song is the title song, Teeth, and lots of things have happened before it. But the most important thing is that the first penis of the night has been sacrificed.
Something that's really crazy too is that this is the first song we wrote for the musical, and we almost immediately pulled it out of the show, and then it made this magical reappearance about 6 years later when we were at the O'Neill.
The demonic possession between my thighs. This is the dark satanic collision happening underneath. Something that cuts with razor precision. Teeth, 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 teeth.
Thank you to Alyse and Lewis for those comments. They were we love you. We love having you a part of the company. I just want to say that.
Absolutely. I love what she said, and the performance was wonderful. And if that was your first introduction to teeth, yes, penises do get sacrificed, and a girl does have teeth in her vagina. It is a true thing.
You should watch the movie.
Absolutely, and so we can prepare you for the musical. Here's a clip from the presentation of Maya from last week. Take a look.
Poems you write, dear, are perfectly splendid, and you impressed us like none of the men did. I'll bow in thanks. Yes, there will come a day.
So this was initially our thesis project at NYU, and came across this woman named Sarojini Naidu. She was a poet and an activist and a friend of Gandhi, and she was a participant in the Salt March.
I think the big question of just how can one person change the world is reflected in this piece, because we follow the story and the journey of our protagonist Maya, which kind of reminds me of today, even during the Black Lives Matter movement. There are so many people who are still sitting on the sidelines, and as an artist, you often question, how can you make a difference?
I can't pretend to know the way I'll make my mark, but I can all but see my parents beaming in a gathering crowd, rejoicing and loud when I forever change the world.
I had to really go study a lot of classical Indian music, and more specifically Hindustani music. And I think understanding where Indian classical music comes from, it took a lot of research, but immersing myself in another world of music was so beautiful. Understanding what Indian music is authentically, but also infusing it with my own voice, musical voice.
I wanted to really recognize that Chiang and Eric have both been the kind of writers where they have always been open to even taking their darlingest darlings, like that song which was In Between Two Worlds, and being open to really digging into what the drama of the show actually wanted to be and what this piece really wanted to be. And for me, as a person who's from India and has lived in India for much of my life, It was sort of like really getting to know a place, because in India the history we're taught is mostly colonial, so it was sort of like learning that part of history from the voices of people like Sarojini Naidu, who were actually there. It was really exciting.
Well, think of all we leave behind us, the little songs and more. They'll stay in our hearts and they'll remind us the country we're fighting for. And whatever future's in store, still the banyan tree will be standing here, like the banyan tree will be standing strong. And whatever we do, I'll be there for you. I'll be by your side, standing tall through it all.
I think we've had that song, Kuhu song, stuck on our head for like the last week.
Yeah, and
So
that was
now-
Yeah.
So now that we've looked at those shows, let's get started with tonight's programming. So our first show tonight is The River Is Me.
All right, The River Is Me is written by Sukari Jones and Troy Anthony and is inspired by the murder of Emmett Till. Mississippi, summer 1955, a 14-year-old black boy whistles at a white woman and is kidnapped by her husband, murdered, and buried at the bottom of a river. Rather than be dismantled, the boy is endowed by powers from the river and returns to walk the earth as a superhero to save his mother from the grown-up world of violence.
And now joining us are the writers of The River Is Me, Sukari Jones and Troy Anthony. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
And you guys are both in New York City still, which is a rarity.
Toughing it out.
We are so excited to have you. And our first question for you is, what inspired you to tell this story?
I think that something wonderful about working with Troy is that we both agree that musical theater is capable of holding space for stories that have weight and that are important and that matter and that have the power to change people's lives and are entertainment, but also a form of social justice. Personally, I'm inspired by the life of Emmett Till and especially his mother, who kind of sparked the civil rights movement in America by deciding to display her son's body and kind of galvanize support. I think Will Smith said that racism isn't getting worse, it's getting filmed. But even back in 1955, it was on the cover of Jet magazine. I think that I'm inspired to write things that I feel a personal connection to, and I feel like without this woman's coming of age story and her son, I wouldn't be here today. But also he's just a fun kid, and I think that when people think of Emmett Till, they think of his murder, which is in so many kind of like taglines of our show, but it's actually a show about a son and his mother and their love and how it kind of overcame boundaries.
Wow. And how did you two start collaborating?
Oh, I love telling this story. So,
well, don't lie this time when you tell it.
I want to know what the fake version is now.
Oh, there's only the real version and the version that exists in Sukari's head. So we can cover both of those.
Cool.
So Sukari and I met at a musical theater factory event. We were I was performing something that I did not write, and she came up to me afterwards and we were talking and she was like, do you write? And I was like, no, I don't. And that's not
actually what happened
heard.
is I saw him, I pounced, and I was like, so you're a composer, right? And he said, yes, I have 18 plus years of jazz and improvisational music sounds. And I thought, great, let's have a Themes and Dreams meeting.
So really what happened is Sukari was like, well, I think you should write, and like you can do that. And so
I'm never pushy.
She did trick me. I went to like do a reading of her play, and read a character. And I think afterwards she was like, "Well, I just booked this room. Like, do you wanna like go in here and like play around a little bit?"
That sounds like me.
So we started playing, and Sukari is, I would not have started writing if she had not kind of seen that in me. So
Oh.
and then we started working on this project. I was so drawn because I think there's something about when you deal with the truth of a situation, like you're actually able to like heal and move through it. And so we try to focus on the reckoning with the event, but also like how do we move through, and how's their healing possible like after something like this.
Wow. And I like the thing you said, you had a themes and dreams meeting. I've never heard of that before, but now I want to do that with someone.
It involves a lot of snacks and mostly
Overpriced
playing
soup?
around.
Well, one of the first time I ever heard anything from the show was in the NAMT Songwriters Showcase before the show was in NAMT, and I heard an amazing ensemble number called Go Go Waterman, sung by Larry Owens, who has now won so many awards for one of our favorite shows, A Strange Loop. So I guess let's tell us about the first song.
This first song is the kind of opener of our show. It's called Captain Hydro, which is a water-powered superhero that Bo, our main character, kind of dreams up. Sukari, I did my share of talking about.
That was great. You did a great job.
Let's hear
Bo
it.
is really into comic books. He's the protagonist of the show, and he loves this like one superhero, and that's his favorite comic book. So sometimes when there's violence afoot, he kind of escapes into this fantasy imagination world where he's a superhero and he's not just a short, chubby, cute kid, but he's like powerful.
Let's hear the song.
I am water, pure and strong. Heed my warning, hear my song. I am waves, troubled water. I'm the storm, I'm the sea, muddy bank, choppy river, shining stream, run free. I'm a fat old fog, I'm a heavy hail, I'm a tidal wave, I can never fail. I am one raindrop, I'm the hero you dreamed I would turn out to be. Captain Hydro's here, he will save the day. You are not alone, you won't go away. He's a trusty pal when you're feeling low. He's the prince of the deep, he is Captain Hydro. I am waves, mighty water. I can rain, I can roar. I soothe, I can save ya. What else is water for? I'm a hurricane, I'm a grand affair. I'm a crazy cloud, I am everywhere. I'm impossible, but I made up my mind of who I'm gonna be. Captain Hydro's here with a 10-foot chest. Beat a bully up, put him on arrest. He's a noble king of the world below. When you feel like a wimp, there is Captain Hydro. Now the dark is sinking in. Hydro, get up. Hydro, get right back in it. Hydro, heed the call. You will rise. He can bunch of stepdad guy. Play a checkers move. Make your ma not cry. Went away from the land and shore to get powers and stronger and dolphins and more. Captain Hydro's hot for a victory. He gets all the girls like me, righting wrongs and however on the go. Who you need, yes indeed. If you're blue, you know who on your team. He's a dream, good old Captain Hydro. Hydro, Captain Hydro. Amazing.
Yay, clap.
Yay, that was great.
It's a fantastic song and so beautifully sung by you, Troy. Thank you.
So what a range. Somebody book this child, please.
So I know Joe started talking about this right before the UC Larry Owen sing that song before. So you guys, I know, have had some history in NAMP. Tell us more about the development of the show.
Funny you should say that. We haven't had any development. We've been lucky enough to be showcased by the wonderful folks at NAMPT and had kind of an experience with that. We've not once had the entire show, every single song, the full song, the entire book. We've never had that experience. We've done table reads so far. So I think something we're super eager to experience is just finding an artistic home or even just an artistic babysitter that is interested in taking a chance on a show with potential and a lot of risk and a lot of teeth, but a lot of heart. And just, giving us some actors and a nice music director, maybe. I don't know, maybe talking some water bottles, possibly some, I don't know, let's get crazy. Presenting a few people. But yeah, so we did present some songs at NAMPT. We presented some songs and worked on, I think, 4 songs at O'Neill in this cool thing called the Incubator, this Incubator residency. And we have done a 54 Below concert. All without knowing the actual frozen version of the show. So in process, super in process.
I know you're looking for a director and then.
Yes, we have no attached director. We're really, I think the paint is wet on us. I think it's because the show as an entity might seem too hot to handle, but I think the show is actually full of joy and my Black experience is prying joy and prying healing out of the jaws of despair or pain. I think the show in part reflects that. And I think that, I know that, I believe that someone will take a chance on us and they will not be disappointed.
What I love so much about theater and musicals is that they do bring so much light to the pain that we do have in the world. And I think what's exciting about this show and about Wally Flynn, the other show that we're going to see tonight, though they're very, very different musicals and very different stories, they both use fantasy to examine and escape trauma. Both musicals use children actually to examine and escape trauma.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Interesting.
I was actually just thinking about that as Troy was singing. Wow. So it's, again, very, very different musicals, but there is a really exciting parallel here. And with that, we would love to hear the second song, and even more so, we'd love to know more about it.
Well, the number one thing to know is that there's brilliant dialogue that you're not hearing tonight. But this is, I believe, the 4th song in the show, and it takes place after Bo has won friends by impressing the kids by pretending he's the comic book writer of Captain Hydro. And then his uncle comes along because Bo has bumped into this white guy who later kidnaps and murders him. But at this point, we don't know any of that. We just know that his uncle, who is this 65-year-old Black man who's never left the state of Mississippi, never left the 400-person town of Money, Mississippi, has seen Bo act in a way that is not super respectful to white people. And he realizes, I need to teach him the rules of the South. To this day, Troy, you can also speak to this, but my whole family's from the South, and I'm from the North, and they taught me that you have to say please and thank you, and you have to not challenge a white person, and that's today. So this is a moment where Uncle is kind of teaching his nephew kind of the Jim Crow South rules.
Yes, and it's done all in a song and preferably tap dance.
Oh yeah, there's a soft shoe. We'll save that for production.
We'll imagine.
Yeah. So we need a choreographer also. So.
Let's hear the song.
Ain't no one taught y'all nothing in them fancy Yankee schools. You in the South now, boy, watch that mouth now. Lord have mercy, you don't know the rules. Ain't about no being nice. Manners gonna get you by. Manners is your picture of sweet tea. Give 'em yes sir, thank you ma'am, like serving pecan pie. This ain't a game. You ought to listen and cut that jive. You ought to listen to what I'm learning. You keep quiet, you keep alive. Try to stay that way, 'cause white people's loved in slavery. They likes to see the way things is. White man gets scared, we act too free. They makes it be the way things is. White man walk up on you, and you is on the street. You get your big behind down off the curb, let him walk all over you, while you is smiling sweet. And it a shame, but don't you act like you never knowed. You can't say no one never told you so. So start walking a straight road, live to play another day. Hey, hey, this your most important exam. Can't be no ham the way things is. God made the lion and the lamb. Guess we just am the way things is. Fix your face a smiling wide. Eyes kept down, step to the side. Shuffle like you hear a beat. Make like shackles on your feet. Put yourself on display. Dance, they dance, and slide away. Hey, hey, boy, pay attention, don't make fun. You can't outrun the way things is. White man be lynching anyone. You can't outgun the way things is. Ain't changed a lick since yesterday. It's here to stay, 'cause this just the way, this just the way. This just the way, this just the way, this just the way. Now maybe things change someplace, but Mississippi never will. In 80 years from now, the way things is will be the same way still. Ain't no use for it, no excuse for it. Best get used to it or get a noose for it. This just the way things is. Lordy, this just the way things is.
That's right. You sang that song. Good job.
Well, someone developed this show, and hopefully somebody will sing.
Well, actually, I just heard from our friends at Out of the Box Theatrics who said that they thought you guys were awesome up here, and I think the show has a lot of potential. And so they would need to meet with you to talk about potentially developing it.
Great.
So we'll connect you tomorrow.
Amazing.
Thanks so much.
Happen every day.
What a great end to this part of the broadcast. So thank you guys for being on tonight, and we'll
thank you so much for having us. It's so important to get support at all for a show that's this. So
someone says they're dreamcasting the show, so hopefully
That's Genesis Collado. She herself is a star. Thank you, Genesis.
Well, we'll see you guys soon. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you, Sukari and Troy. And now on to the second half of our presentation, WALLY FLYNN. WALLY FLYNN is the new musical from Emmy-nominee Eli Bolin and Canadian writer and artist Steven Gallagher.
Wally Flynn's world has been turned upside down since the death of his father. Today is his 12th birthday, and nobody seems to care. His sister won't stop tormenting him. His mom is too busy trying to fix her own problems to notice him, and his only friend is an imaginary soldier from the pages of his sketchbook. Armed with a rich fantasy life and $5 for bus fare, Wally and Soldier head out into the world and embark on adventures that show Wally the meaning of family and when it's time to grow up.
And now joining us are the writers of WALLY FLYNN, Eli Bolin and Steven Gallagher. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Wow.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for
I
being
think
here.
you're on mute.
Oh, Steven is on mute.
Yeah.
Let's try to find it.
We just updated StreamYard today, so it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, Steven, you're not alone. I was actually on mute earlier, and we can't figure out if it was me or what it was, but it's a whole thing. While Steven's figuring that out, I just wanted to tell Eli, a few months ago, we did our new work series at a new, not at a new space, but it has a new name. It's called the Asylum Theater. It's in Chelsea. And when we were there, I told this story about how this space was so special to me because it used to be called the Upright Citizens Brigade, and it was called the Maverick Theater. And when I came to, my parents bought me a gift to come to New York and see theater when I was 18, when I graduated high school. And I came and I saw your show 2 nights in a row at that theater. I sang. It was so special. And I brought a tape recorder in with me, and I recorded the show because I was so excited about it.
Oh my God!
That's illegal.
Actually, and that's wrong. We should never do that. But
no bootlegs.
I did, and I brought that tape recorder back to California, and my friends and I performed it in an illegal cabaret for our friends.
That's wonderful.
And that's funny because I've seen kids, like, I don't know if you've seen this on YouTube, like doing co-op, and I think it's hilarious.
Are there kids? Are there kids,
There's
on
kids
YouTube?
on YouTube. I was like really bored one day, and I was like, I wonder who likes co-op, and I'm like, there's children.
Wow. I have to look that up.
And so we've been talking about a bunch of the projects you wrote, but Steven lives in Canada and also is the writer of Pollyanna and Blackout. Those are his projects that we've checked out, which seem really awesome. So how did you come up with the story of WALLY FLYNN, and how did you both come to collaborate?
And I know that kind of starts with Steven.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, a couple of years ago, I was in a sort of a matching program with a musical stage company here in Toronto, and one of the prompts was to write a 15-minute musical based on a newspaper article. And I saw this really interesting newspaper article about this kid who flew from Minnesota to Vegas without anybody knowing. He stowed away on a plane, and he managed to get all the way to Vegas, and they found him in a casino in Vegas like 2 days later. And I was really intrigued by this story, but I didn't have a composer, and these producers commercial producers that I was working with really loved the idea of this kid with this fantasy life. And basically they asked a couple of people to write for the show, and that's how we met Eli. That's how I met Eli. And Eli was one and only person I wanted to work with after hearing all these writers. His musical language spoke to me, but also just speaking to him in person, we have we're both like overgrown kids, and I feel like we both understand that language of what it's like to be a kid in the world today. And a lot of my writing has to do with loneliness in the modern world and what that's like to navigate. And Eli really understood that right away. And so it's always been a joy to work with Eli because he is so generous and thoughtful. And even though he's the busiest man in composing showbiz right now, he always has time for me. And I'm really grateful to him for joining me on this project.
I love working on the show, and I love working with Steven, and from the beginning I just feel like I really hit it off with him, and I'm terrible at meeting new people and working with them. Just, I'm mostly kidding, but sort of not really. And I have two kids that I'm constantly in a zone, but I just from the beginning I just really feel like I clicked with Steven, and it's the free flowing, especially when we're in the room together, which is unfortunately not often enough. It's just things I feel like flow really fast and easy, and it's just a really fun collaboration.
That's great. Well, based on Steven's description of the show, it sounds like Home Alone meets Catch Me If You Can.
Also, I get a little Curious George vibe there too.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, we also think of he's a sort of a young Walter Mitty because the fantasy element is so strong, and he actually flies in the show. So,
yeah, he has. He's constantly escaping. His home life is pretty tough, so he's constantly escaping into these sketches and drawings and characters that he's making up. And sometimes when things get too tough, he'll retreat into that. But in the show, it also explodes and comes to life. So we see, as he retreats into these fantasies, they also expand into the space and come to life.
Wow.
Like Walter Mitty. It's Walter Mitty.
And I feel like that's really important today because, I feel like during this pandemic, everybody kind of wants a little escape, and escapism, I think, it's more important than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, I think we are really excited to hear the first song. So let's hear a little bit about that.
Then this song is called From Way Up Here, and it's he's just had a pretty big fight with his mom, right? Is that
right? Mm-hmm.
And so he runs away, and he is sort of thinking about. He was very close with his dad, and things are kind of tough with his mom right now, and so he runs off, and he is feeling a lot of things about going through a lot of memories about his dad and missing his dad a lot and wishing his dad was still there. And he sort of escapes into this fantasy where he just sort of takes off and starts flying. Yeah, do you want to?
Yeah, he sort of brings his dad back to life for a few minutes. Just he's so lonely, and he feels so alone that the only comfort he has right now is to think about his father, and his father gives him this strength to just move through the next 5 minutes.
Awesome.
And who is singing the song tonight?
The wonderful Alexander Bello, who was in John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch, which I wrote the music for, and sang my favorite song in that. My favorite is amazing. And it's called I Saw a White Lady Standing on the Street Just Sobbing, and I think about it once a week. And he's so good. And he was going to be in Caroline or Change, which unfortunately, because of the pandemic, has been postponed, and hopefully sooner rather than later will come to Broadway.
That'll be his third Broadway credit.
His third Broadway credit.
Counting. Well, let's see.
I can climb the highest mountain, save the damsel in distress. I can make the world a safer place and never make a mess. The only thing I really want but I cannot make it true, is to somehow bring you back, Dad. But I can save you. Mom says you never left me, that you're always in my heart. I should be moving on now, but I don't know how to start. I know that you're not really here, there's nothing I can do, 'cause now you're gone forever, and I can't save you. I know it's kind of funny, but I feel as though I'm floating to the treetops. Suddenly time stops, and I'm okay. I know it's kind of funny, but I feel as though I'm lifting to the skies now. Open my eyes now, and watch the ground fall away from way up here. I see rivers, parks, and trees. I see possibilities that I'm dying to explore. From way up here, there's a part of me I've never seen before. I can see it all and more from way up here. You'd be flying here beside me and say I'm your favorite guy. You would celebrate my birthday and you wouldn't have to die. But that's not what really happened, and I ought to get a clue, 'cause you're lost and gone forever, and I didn't save you. I know it's kind of funny, but I feel as though I'm lifting up to space now. I see your face now, inside the sun. I know it's kind of funny, but I feel as though I'm flying even higher. The sky's on fire, and something's finally begun from way up here. I see pictures in the stars. I see Mercury and Mars as I go into a dive. From way up here, I don't know where I'll go till I arrive. I can feel you're still alive. Way up here, from way up, way up here. I can feel you're still alive.
Oh my God, someone said goosebumps on the chat, and like, I agree.
He's so great.
He's so great.
He's awesome. Well, our second song is by Alison Posner, who happens to be the wife of Eli Bolin and an amazing performer and one of my favorite voices. She sings the song Julian, written by Eli, that I sing all the time, and every time I sing it, I think of her. Anyway, she is not here with us tonight live because she's actually putting the kids to bed, but she did prepare a surprise video, so we're going to show that now.
What?
Hello, I'm Alison Posner, and I am so excited to be singing a song for everyone tonight from the new musical WALLY FLYNN by Eli Bolin and Steven Gallagher. I feel so lucky to be able to collaborate with my husband Eli, and I have been singing his work for almost 14 years now, and I was always a fan even before I met him, and I'm just so proud of everything that he's accomplished, and wanted to say a huge thank you to Joe Barros and everyone at New York Theater Barn for being a creative home to so many artists and incubating such exciting new work, and hope you enjoy.
Oh wow, that's so nice. I did not know that she made that. That's
We
wonderful.
wanted your kids in it, but we thought you would know she was doing it then. So
That's wow.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Well, I feel very lucky to be married to her and to get to collaborate with her, and she's just wonderful. That's great.
before we set up the second song, can you guys talk a little more about the diva of the show?
The what of the show?
The development of the show.
Yeah. We're working with a company in Toronto called Yonge Street Theatricals, and last year, what they've done is basically when Eli and I need to get together, they fly me to Maplewood, and we work in Maplewood. Sometimes out of a church, sometimes in the basement, sometimes anywhere in Maplewood. And last year they gave us a workshop in Toronto. And it was a short, sort of a week-long workshop, and Eli and I got to work together very quickly on rewrites. And we had Eli, go ahead with that. What else we got there?
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, it was great. I mean, it was wonderful to like get to spend a week in Toronto, and we had an amazing cast. And we got to bring like my music director Dan Pardo got to come up, who is amazing. I've worked with him for like the last, God, it was like 15 years on pretty much everything. And it was, I mean, it was wonderful. We did like, I mean, God, we rewrote so much of the show in just like a week.
It was crazy.
And it was great. And, you know, hopefully we'll get to get right back to it one of these days. Because I really love the show and I love working with Steven on it. And I would like to see it, you know, push forward again.
I'm really excited post the pandemic. There's going to be so many projects that need a place, and I think they're all going to get a place, hopefully.
Well, you said it, Jen, so it's going to happen.
There we go. So our second song, I know Allison is singing, if you guys want to set it up.
Yeah, so this is Wally's mother, and she's just, so this is another, it's actually a pretty fun and fizzy show in a lot of ways. There's a lot of comedy and silliness, but this is another song that comes after kind of a heavy moment where the mom is sort of like, feels like she's losing both kids. She's kind of gotten in a bit of a blowout with her daughter. And I think the daughter's just said something like, I don't want to be living here, and has left. And she's just kind of like drained. And it's like, what the hell am I gonna do? Like, my kids don't want to be here. And I'm gonna throw it to you, Steven. You're so good. You're so good at being concise.
I think that's great. I mean, I think the moment in the show, she's a modern mom who has so much on her plate, and she's trying to hold everything together for her kids, who she loves very much. And right now, it's not going very well. Like all parents and many parents, it's particularly relevant to right now, where kids are on top of you all the time, and you don't know how to. You can't be everything to everyone all the time. Is what she's going through sort of right now.
Breakfast that lasts more than a minute, a bottle of my favorite beer, a moment in the afternoon where I can be alone. I'm pretty sure I haven't had that in at least a year, but there's no time to throw a fit. I make the most of it. Sunday with my children at the movies, a day trip to the boardwalk down the shore. The things I took for granted, well, I guess they're gone for good, 'cause everyone grows up then, they don't need you anymore. And there are days I want to quit, but I make the most of it. And when the kids are sleeping, I cuddle
log the day. I take a breath and take a bath and let it wash away. I think about the future, I used to want it all. But I'm a little older now, I keep my dreaming small. What am I searching for? It's not that I want much more. And every now and then I hear a whisper, a voice that says you're failing as a mom. But I know it's a liar and I'm gonna be okay. The kids call out and break the spell and suddenly I'm calm. And I don't need the rest of it, 'cause I'll make the best of it. Well, I'll make the most of it.
Oh, I love that voice.
That voice is so great. I love Allison's voice so much. I feel so lucky that she sang this song for us. Oh my God. So great.
It's a great song. And also, I've been listening to another song from the show, or maybe it's been cut, but it's called My Favorite Time of Day. And Allison sings it with Ethan Slater on YouTube.
Yeah, we did that in a concert a couple of years ago. Not cut.
Not cut. It's in there.
Yeah, it's in there.
And I know that concert's going to be on the 54 homepage next month, right? Got rescheduled.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So I also work there, so.
We have 54 Below spies that work for us.
I work there, so that's not a spy, but.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
going to be next month. They're gonna the whole concert that it was the concert that Allison and I did together, and Ethan was in it, and Richard Kind.
Yeah, I think you sing the opening number of Eddie Scourge, right? Together? You and Allison?
Oh yeah, we opened with a song from Eddie Scourge. Yeah.
And then he does a song from
which
Co-op.
was developed at New York Theater Barn.
Yeah, in the New Work series.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, this was so fantastic. Thank you, Eli, Steven, Alexander, and Allison.
We'll see you guys soon once we can see people again.
Thank you so much for having us. Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Bye, guys. All right, and a huge thank you to Katie Kearns for putting her heart and soul into telling stories with us each week.
Yes, thank you, Katie, and thank you to Hector Flores Jr. for his incredible vision and work in editing all of our video footage every week. It is not an easy job at all.
Yeah, thank you, Hector, and thanks so much to board member Susan Thomas for her light and message this week.
Thank you, Susan.
Well, that's our show for tonight.
Join us next Wednesday, June 24th, 2020, same place, as our New York series continues with excerpts from the new musicals, The Dogs of Pripyat by Jill Abramovitz and Aaron Accurso, and Terrytown by Adam Wachter.
Yeah, you don't want to miss these incredible shows.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Adam's show, Terrytown. I've known Adam for a while. It's a contemporary musical loosely based on Washington Irving's Sleepy Hollow. And there just was a studio album that got released last month, and all of the profits are going to the Actors Fund COVID-19 Assistance Fund.
Ooh, so fantastic. And I've been enjoying watching Adam Wachter in the show Encore on Disney Plus, where he's a musical director.
Me too.
Many musicals. It's so much fun. And we watched Pippin last night. It was so much fun. Anything Goes a few nights ago. Anything Goes, the production had been like 45 years prior in LA or something. It was really
it's cool. They did one in my town near me once. It's great.
Yeah. I'm also very excited about Jill Abramovitz and Aaron Accurso's The Dogs of Pripyat. It's been one of my favorite shows since I got to work on it in NAMM's Festival of New Musicals. The show follows the 1986 Chernobyl explosion in the town of Pripyat and tells the story of the pets who remained and learned how to survive.
Yeah, and the show strangely feels really, really relevant right now, and I'm really excited about it for next week.
Yeah, so am I. So thanks for tuning in tonight, and thank you for supporting live theater.
Yes, we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you and good night.